Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to the channel. It is Wednesday morning, the 27th of November. And as we head ever closer into the new year, the merry-go-round that is Harry's court cases is going to come back in full swing again. I believe in January there's a sitting for his court case against the Daily Mail, and the judge is already handing out warnings to Harry, already admonishing him for past behavior and what needs to happen now. From the Daily Mail today, we read the headline: Judge warns Prince Harry's lawyer not to make any unfounded allegations in case against the Mail. Now, we know in past court proceedings, Harry has, said things like, well, he felt like this or that, and if it happened to his mother, it must have happened to him, and it was all about feelings, not fact. Indeed, at one point, the judge said to Harry, we need facts here, not just how you felt about things at the time. We need facts. And Harry's response at the time was, well, that's why I'm here, This is what happened to me, and I'm here to find out the facts. And the judge said, no, that's not the way the court works. You have an allegation, you have a claim against another entity. You bring the facts to prove your case in court. That's how it works. So again, let's read this article by Sam Greenhill in the Daily Mail. It starts out: the judge in Prince Harry and Doreen Lawrence's High Court case against the Mail warned them yesterday not to make any unfounded, quote, serious allegations, unquote. Mr. Justice Nicklin said their accusations of phone hacking, burglary, and bugging needed to be backed up with, quote, admissible evidence, unquote, or withdrawn. There is this same point coming up again, telling Harry, we need real evidence here, or this case is going to finally be withdrawn. The judge has had enough of this messing around. I mean, this case, it's big money for the lawyers. It's worth going on, but this case is costing the British taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars. Harry, of course, can afford it. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. It's tying up court time when there's so many other things that need to be addressed. This is basically a vanity project being played out in public to feed Harry's ego, and all the while his lawyers get rich at the same time. Now let's go back to the article. The Duke of Sussex and Baroness Lawrence, a Labour peer, are among 7 claimants suing the Mail's publisher, alleging that journalists hacked phones, broke into homes, tapped landlines, and bugged cars, claims the publisher has described as, quote, preposterous and untrue. The case, which is projected to cost $38 million. Okay, so not hundreds of millions. $38 million. That's a ton of money. And is still in the early stages. Yesterday, as he set a trial date for January 14th, 2026, the judge said at least one of the allegations in the case, quote, could be career-ending and give rise to potential criminal proceedings, so it couldn't be more serious, unquote. In other words, Harry, evidence you provide better be truthful, better be real, better have substance, because this is more than your ego. This is serious stuff here. He told the claimant's barrister, David Sherborne, quote, as part of general case management, unquote, that, quote, when serious allegations are made, first it has to be necessary for them to be included, and secondly, it has to properly and fairly reflect the underlying material, unquote. So, the judge is saying the whole substance of the case. Right now you don't have a case, but you need to provide facts. And the judge said again, quote, you understand that rules relating to allegations like that, which are serious allegations, must be pleaded clearly, and the claimants must have admissible evidence for that allegation. In other words, facts, evidence, or reasonable grounds to suppose the evidence will be available at trial. In other words, Harry, you can't just talk about your feelings anymore and say, well, I'm sure it happened, and I felt bad, and I'm sure they were all hacked, so I was, and the press, they've been on me all my life, The judge is saying, no, Harry, you actually need to provide some facts this time, or it'll be thrown out. He said it was something the newspaper group was concerned about and warned, quote, I want there to be no misunderstanding about the rules, unquote. Mr. Sherborne replied, I'm well aware of them. Associated Newspapers, which publishes the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday, vehemently denies all the accusations which date back to 1993. Don't forget, this was already all dealt with. But here we go, and made by the claimants, who also include Sir Elton John, David Furnish, Elizabeth Hurry, Sadie Frost, and Sir Simon Hughes. They have all cited Mail articles which they allege must have come from phone hacking or other types of unlawful information gathering, such as burglary, bugging, and phone tapping. It emerged in written submissions to the court that Baroness Lawrence launched her legal battle after Prince Harry sent her a text message in January 2022 claiming there was, quote, information that she would want to know about. A few days later, she met Harry's barrister, Mr. Sherborne, but Harry's text message is now missing, the court heard. Course. She said Baroness Lawrence has lost and probably deleted an important document. That always happens. Funny how that always happens. In a trenchant defense of its journalism, the publisher submitted defenses to the claims to the High Court earlier this year, explaining the legitimate source for each article, including in one case naming a former Home Secretary as being the source of a story. Prince Harry, the Baroness, and the others allege the Mail executives lied to the Leveson inquiry into press standards in 2011 and 2012. Yesterday, Mr. Justice Nicklin told Mr. Sherborne, Harry's lawyer, you'll appreciate the difference between evidence which is subsequently demonstrated not to be correct and a lie. When he explained, a lie is knowing you are telling an untruth, telling something that is you believe to be true but later proves to be untrue. Mr. Sherborne finished off his sentence for him by saying, is not a lie. The judge, who also warned the claimants that he would not allow them to turn their case into a public inquiry. The next stage of the legal case involves each side disclosing messages and documents they hold which may be relevant to the other side. I believe this is in America, this is what's called is discovery. They've got to exchange documents and evidence, right? So now Mr. Sherborne said the claimants had concerns that the newspaper would not disclose all relevant documents, He asked the court to intervene to help ensure the complete universe of documents in the publisher's possession were searched for any information that might help his clients. Mr. Justice Nicklin refused his application, saying he did not want the case turned into an uncontrolled public inquiry. He told Mr. Sherborne, "I don't think it's helpful to anticipate problems that haven't yet arisen. You are open to criticism for anticipating trouble." The judge added, "It's very important before we leave, quote, base camp, we need to establish where we're going, how we're getting there, and what equipment we're taking. And what we're not doing is setting off on a sunny afternoon and saying, let's see what we can find." In other words, again, admonishing Harry and his lawyer, saying, no, you come to court with evidence. You come to court with a case. This is not a fishing expedition. You know? He told Mr. Sherborne that the publisher would embark on a legal process disclosing documents properly, adding, "If they don't, you'll be back here and telling me, and there will be consequences," he added. "The same rules apply to you." Yesterday was the first day of a 2-day, quote, case management hearing. In the afternoon, Associate newspapers lost an application to strike out an aspect of the case relating to a jailed businessman who in the early 90s had sued the Mail on Sunday for libel and alleged that documents had been removed from his home. Mr. Sherborne characterized this episode as an example of, quote, burglary, which had been admitted by the publisher. The judge rebuked him by suggesting that his characterization of the admission was not accurate, but he allowed the matter to stay in the case for the time being pending further information. The hearing continues. So there you have it. They're doing preliminary hearings in advance of January, 12th? And the judge has to continuously admonish Harry and his lawyer. Again, just like before, they play fast and loose with the truth. Facts don't really matter. Feelings rule the day. Harry figures, well, I feel I've been hard done by, so somebody's got to pay for this, and I'm Prince Harry, so, what's the issue here? And the judge is calling him to task. Mr. Sherborne doesn't care. The lawyer doesn't care. It doesn't matter what the outcome is for him. From 2011 to now, look how many years ago that was. And this guy's still making money off this? Oh my God, the guy is just dancing. He'll do whatever Harry asks him to do. He'll say whatever Harry asks him to say. Can you imagine the kind of money he's going to make when this is all over? Can you imagine? Whether Harry wins or loses, the lawyers walk away with pockets full of cash. It's a win-win. So they don't care. But the judge this time, at least, is saying, come on, guys, we've seen what happened. We've seen what's gone before. This is a travesty. It's a burden on the courts. The judge sounds like it, like this doesn't have a whole lot of bearing. Why are you wasting our time? Get out of my courtroom. If you can't tell the truth and produce facts, you have no business presenting a case, right? So we will see what happens, and that is the second week of January. So it'll be very interesting to see how that court case progresses and what happens between now and then. Tell you, we're going into interesting times. Take care, everybody. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and please leave me a comment. I want to know what you think about all this. Bye for now.